in which we had learned about how to prepare the sample, preservation method of sample, conversion method of sample. Then we had studied about the terms involved in sampling. The terms are population, sample, sampling procedure, sampling unit, subsample, analysis of sample, etc. Now we have to study about theory of sampling. What is the theory behind the sampling? The theory of sampling is based on the statistical law, which are not exact but true. An elementary and qualitative idea of the theory is discussed here according to this law. That is, law of statistical regularity. Large number of samples selected at random from the universe are almost sure on an average to possess the characteristic of the universe. In random sampling, every portion of the material has an equal chance of being selected. Another statistical observation is that if one part of the population is in one direction and other equal big part of population is in opposite direction, this observation lead to the law of inertia. According to the law, large number of samples are drawn from different parts of bulk material, then the probability that the gross sample will represent the bulk material is quite high. This is the theory given for the sampling. It gives the uh, exact idea. We cannot say the it is like in statistics, that when we are taking the sample we are choosing it from the random or non-random method, but the results are on an average results we can find out. Now see the types of sampling. There are two types of sampling: random sampling and non-random sampling. For example, if we are collecting the sample on a road, for example, we are selecting a sample of soil from the highway. If you are selecting the sample from every 1 kilometer, you have to say that this is non-random, or it is also termed as systematic sampling. But you are collecting the water or when you are collecting the soil from any place, you are not calculating the kilometer, you are not considering any factors. You are just collecting the soil from any place. It is termed as random. Means there is no fixed position or fixed kilometer or anything. If you are collecting the water sample from any place in any like season, that is the random sampling. But if you are taking the sample like tablet or soil or water from the fixed position at the fixed time by the fixed manner, that is the systematic sampling. So first one is random sampling. As already described, that random sampling is a selection of sample which gives full freedom to the operation of chance factor. We have a full freedom to operate or full chance. In this sampling, every individual atom has an equal chance of being selected. Sometime what happens if we are collecting the soil from every 1 kilometer, some places which may have the chance of toxicity will not be collected, because you are collecting the sample only from 1 kilometer. But in between that 1 kilometer, if one of the place have the toxicity or something like wrong, you will avoid that sample and you will go by the 1 kilometer to 1 kilometer. So in that case random sampling is good because every individual atom has an equal chance of being selected. If the sample size is large enough, then it is most likely that it will represent all items in a given population. This type of sampling requires minimum knowledge of work in advance. Means there is no work to measure the kilometers or to study the temperature, to study the physical factors, or to study the seasons. There is this type of job or this type of work is removed because this is a random sampling. But when the bulk material is homogeneous, random sampling is easy. However, when samples are heterogeneous, bulk material are to be taken. Different procedures are needed. Now see